Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here at Miscelabros. Today we bring you the unboxing of this new Vivo Y03 or Vivo Y03. So, in this video we check the technical specification about this smartphone and what's inside in their box. So, let's begin. Hey, thanks for joining us in another video. Now we have the unboxing of this Vivo Y03 that we have provided our friends from Vivo, so we can do the unboxing and review of this device. We see a pretty clean presentation, neat, a box completely in immaculate white as Vivo has accustomed us with the presentation of their products. Well, let's see. Here the box tells us some data, some kind of a spoiler of the technical specification of this smartphone, and of course, yes! On the side of the box are the details, including the color. We are going to proceed now immediately to break the seal with which this phone comes with, so that we can see the contents of the box containing this smartphone. Now let's take off the box cover, and it's pretty tight, so let's give a little push and a little help, and voila! There is it. What a nice surprise, and we have that it shows us the technical specification of the phone on the screen, which we really appreciate. But we are not going to read this unboxing by immediately reviewing what this sticker says. We are going to leave the main actor of this unboxing aside for a moment to leave it on the side. And it already looks pretty nice, even inside its anti-static bag. But let's not go straight to the smartphone, let's check what the rest of the contents of the box have. And then focus on the phone itself. We have that it comes with this silicone protection case, which we always appreciate that they deliver the protection of the smartphone along with the products, so very nice Vivo, thank you very much. There are also the insurance policies and the manual, so you can also read them and in details and review the main points to be able to properly and configure your smartphone. We also appreciate that the charger is included in the product box, so you can take the experience with complete satisfaction, unlike other manufacturers such as Apple that doesn't incorporate. So very good Vivo, keep making a difference. We have our charging cable, which is also going to serve you for data transfer with different devices, as we have also shown you in this channel. Obviously also comes the pin with which we are going to be able to open the slot with which we can insert our phone chips. So in summary, this will be all the contents inside the presentation box: the smartphone, the protective case, the data transmission cable, the charger, the manuals and the policies. Let's go straight to the unboxing of the main actor. We will remove the Vivo Y03 from its anti-static bag, and we can see that inside this bag, the beautiful color of the smartphone and the camera modules can be seen. So with a lot of subtlety, we are going to remove the bag that protects the smartphone, and there we can see the first features of the smartphone on this sticker stack on the screen of the device. We'll review now the back, and there we can see that it's a beautiful color, which obviously is changing according to the shades as we go passing here on Ace of Light, as you can realize, just like the other models of Vivo that we have also reviewed within this channel, both the Vivo V30 Lite or has the Vivo V30. And as these models are not fingerprints impregnated on the back of the smartphone, in this model either, which we sincerely appreciate because finally the phone seems much cleaner in this regard. I love the fact that it's completely flat screen and square edges, which finally that to me as a user conveys me greater security, greater ergonomics and a much better user experience. We can also highlight that besides being a very nice device, it's a very light device as you can see it. It weighs only 185 grams according to the manufacturer, which we are going to try to corroborate with our own weight. And we already started to notice certain differences with other models, since for example the chip slot will come on the side and not at the bottom. We are used to always have that position, but in this model is not. And in addition to that, we'll also have a space for a micro SD card of 1TB storage. Therefore, this smartphone can also expand the storage memory, which already comes with a good amount of gigabyte of storage. Then we will detail its technical specification, but for now we comment that in this slot we find the space for the phone chip and for a microSD card up to 1 TB of storage. We see that this Vivo Y03 has a beautiful screen. The edges are a little thicker than what we have seen in what is the B series. Remember that this is the entry series of Vivo. Our cheaper equipment, therefore we will find some differences with respect to the mid-range of Vivo and obviously the top of the range of the brand. However, when we look at the bottom of the smartphone, we can see a connector that usually most brands have already removed it, and it's the famous audio connector, which we are grateful that this has been incorporated in this model, because finally the audio experience is much improved by having a direct wired connection directly between your smartphone and your headphones. It's much better user experience than what you get with the wireless headphones, so in that sense it's very good. Another important location change that could be happening here is that the speaker will no longer be located at the bottom, but will be located at the top of this smartphone. Unfortunately, we don't have any fingerprint reader, neither under the screen or on the lock button. Therefore, the only two protection mechanisms offered in this case in this Vivo Y03 are the lock through some call and facial recognition, which is in 2D. Therefore, it's not so safe, because if there is a person who looks quite like you, the phone will unlock, so it's advisable to have a fairly robust code to secure your smartphone. As you can see, the process of setting up facial recognition is quite simple. And once you develop all this process, the phone will ask you what kind of configuration you want to work with. If with the old version of Android where we had the button panel at the bottom, or the new option with the gestures on the screen to scroll faster, which is the option that I also choose. If you can realize the fluidity of the screen is quite acceptable, and although it's an entry model, that doesn't mean that, for example, doesn't have high refresh rate. This screen refresh rate offered in also an adaptive refresh rate between 60 to 90 Hz, so on that side, very well, Vivo. Let's now continue with what is the rest of the analysis of the technical specification. Let's actually see how much does this smartphone weighs on our weight, and there you can realize that it weighs 186 grams as indicated by our weight. Next, we will see what are the technical specifications of the smartphone, and once we have already tested it without the silicone protective case. We always recommend that you put this protective case because finally with that increase the drop resistant protection too. We also emphasize that I like this protective case because it protects the screen by having this kind of sag or this excess on the edges. It has a space that protrudes above the screen, therefore it gives much greater protection, mainly what are the protection edges and corners. Therefore, in that sense also increases what is this protection. Obviously the fingerprints are going to be marked on this silicone protector. Unfortunately, but well, it's part of the material with which the protective cases are built. Perhaps in the future we will also have silicone cases where fingerprints are not impregnated. As I mentioned, it also brings protection for the camera modules, but mainly I like it a lot because now it also protrudes enough to protect what is the screen, and that mainly where it jumps more precisely in the part of the corners of the smartphone that usually is where most die all our devices at the time of falls. Mainly they are the falls in the corners of the phones where finally all most smartphones die. So in that sense, always the recommendation is to place this silicone protection case. So once we already have it installed inside our smartphone, let's see how much increases the weight of this device. And we reach the figure of 204 grams. Therefore, it's in so much that increases the weight, it's still a fairly lightweight device and also has a very good battery. Let's now review what are the technical specifications of this Vivo Y03. This smartphone has a glossy finish with plastic back without leaving fingerprint marks inside what is the body of the smartphone. It has an IP54 protection certification. therefore resistant to dust and water salt stains. And the colors of presentation of these models are the Cosmic Black, which is the one we present in this unboxing, and there is also the Hem Green. The dimension of these smartphones are 163.6mm by 75.5mm, and as for what is the thickness is 8.39mm with a weight of 185 grams. The screen is 6.56 inch LED LCD display with an adaptive frequency of up to 90 Hz and resolution of 1612 by 712. As for what is the processor, is a 12 nanometer octa-core Helium G85 whose speed you are seeing in this tab. As for what is the RAM, memory comes with 4GB of dedicated RAM and can also draw from the storage 4GB loaded. Therefore, we will have a total of 8GB of RAM, and storage is 128GB in total, which can also be expanded up to 1TB more, with an expandable memory that can be entered in the slot that we show you at the beginning of this video. As for what is the customization layer, we are working now under Fantouch OS in its version 14, which is based on Android 14. We continue now with the camera module. We have two cameras on the back, the main one with an aperture of 2.2 of 30 megapixels, and we also have a camera with deep sensor with aperture of 3.0 of 2 megapixels. As for what is the front camera, we have a front camera of 5 megapixels with an 2.2 aperture, which is with a perforated cutout aligned to the center of the screen. The sensor that this smartphone has will be accelerometer, ambient light, proximity sensor and motor. As for navigation option, it has GPS, Beidou, Galileo, QZSS. It has a 5000 mAh lithium-ion battery with a 15 watts charge. In terms of connectivity, it has 4G, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth in version 5.0, FM radio, a simple phone chip. It will not have the option of dual SIM, and it has the connection and charging port also through a USB Type-C 2.0. So therefore guys, our first impressions regarding this Vivo Y03 is a pretty nice device. We appreciate that it has also the fully flat screen and also it has the square edges. Another thing we also quite like it within the first impression is that it has the option to be able to expand up to 1TB within the same slot where the phone chip is incorporated. Another thing we also like a lot is the incorporation of this audio jack, which we also appreciate, and that the silicone protector now also protrudes a little with the respect to the screen to provide greater protection. But within what are the technical specifications, we are aware that it's an entry-level phone. Therefore, we will probably not have the same experiences that we had with the Vivo V30 Lite or the Vivo V30. That must be fully clarified from the beginning, so as not to fantasize with false expectations or tell you things that in the end this smartphone is not going to fulfill, because it's an entry-level device, which Vivo offers as an alternative for other users with different requirements, but obviously it may have limitations with respect to something, but it will probably offer us a lot of benefits in another ways. Very interesting. So people, this was the unboxing of this new Vivo Y03. If you like this video and this smartphone, please give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with someone else. If you have any questions about this smartphone, please leave them on the comments box so that we can answer them on the review video. Take care my friends, and I see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.